Right, listen to this. This story comes from a breakdown by Footnotes Guy on X. I'll link the full thread in my stories for you to have a look. And just to be clear, I'm not making any direct claims here, but if what's outlined in that thread is accurate, and it certainly appears that way with screenshots and receipts to back it up. So here's how it looks in plain Aussie terms. Step 1. Julia Gillard chairs a fund called HMC Capital's Energy Transmission Fund. They bought a bunch of renewable projects, including the Kentbrook wind farm for around $950 million. Step 2. They hadn't even raised the money yet. Most of it was borrowed, backed by IOUs and waiting on investors. In clear terms, that's like buying a house with monopoly money and hoping the bank just plays along. Step 3. Supposedly, less than a week later, Chris Bowen, the Energy Minister, approves that exact wind farm under the Capital Investment Scheme. Translation? That project now gets taxpayer-backed, guaranteed income for the next 15 years. Step 4. Now that fund appears to be trying to flip it for a profit. Buy it fast with borrowed cash, get it government approved, then sell it when it's still warm. That's the playbook, according to the breakdown. Now, let me break it down in an even more simpler form. Julia Gillard's fund bought a wind farm with funny money, then Bowen made it a guaranteed gold mine, and now that fund is trying to cash out. Fast. And all of it, it's perfectly legal. Officially above board, but to the normal Aussie, it stinks. Right? Let me put it to you this way. If this were poker, let's say someone walked in and bought their chips on credit, and the dealer they know personally guaranteed their win 5 minutes later, and no one at the table gets to see the cards. There's no public oversight, no freedom of information access, and no transparency. These renewable deals, they happen behind closed doors, and Chris Bowen has the final say, and we're told to trust it with no scrutiny and no sunlight. So here's the question. Where's the green, where's the governance, and where's the public interest in any of this? Because to everyday Aussies, this just smells off. And this right here is why I don't buy the man-made climate change crisis narrative. Because behind every climate slogan, there's almost always a backdoor deal, lined with green tape and someone's profit. And you're not allowed to say a word about it. Why? Because like I've said 100 times, climate change is now a psychological tool. Not just to scare you, but to guilt you into silence. Because if you're anti-climate agenda, you're branded anti-human. But the real problem? These deals are anti-Australian. Oh, and Chris, if you're watching, thanks for the follow today, mate. Also, thanks for those insane power bills. And if I mysteriously get shadow banned or silenced after this video, well, I guess we'll know why, won't we? Australia deserves better than this. What's your thoughts?